Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very first episode of Just Us Dads, the podcast that brings you three longtime friends and also very lovable dads together because we needed an excuse to just for you guys to get out of the house and come over to mine and just hang out. At least that's what my wife thinks it is. So thanks for being here. This is a very brand new podcast for anyone listening. This idea came out pretty randomly, I think, because we don't get to see each other as often as we used to, and we got together at a birthday party at our friend's daughter's first birthday because we need special events now to kind of run into each other. And I was just sitting there listening to us having this conversation and George complaining about taking his kids to Greece and how they ruined his trip. And I was thinking,
they ruined everything.
If I had a camera and if I had the microphones, this would be the most amazing show, the most amazing podcast. So I sent you guys a message, I think that same day. I'm like, guys, I just had an idea and I think it would be very, very exciting, and indeed, I'm looking very forward to this. So,
Well,
so
thanks for inviting us, George.
Yeah,
it's my pleasure. So, we're gonna do a little round table. So,
Before we do that, can you just share a story?
Yeah.
Because the first time George went to Greece, he didn't want to bring his wife because he didn't want to sit there and translate all day.
I remember that.
It's a private conversation.
So, around the table, there's Chris and George, and I'm George as well, because if you're Greek, there's never enough Georges, right?
Yeah.
So thanks for coming. So like I was saying before, we just never get to see each other like we used to, and it just randomly happened when we were at the birthday, and I thought, God, man, is there anything even like this out there? And I'm sure there is. I did some research and I saw some other podcasts that deal with dads and the conversations that they have with their kids and everything. But I was thinking, and it's funny because when you're thinking about this and you're thinking, okay, let's have a podcast with just the dads, and then all these things come to your mind, like every single day we used to kind of go, like, if you needed to see us or if you couldn't reach us and you wanted to find us, like at some point between 10:30 p.m. and 2 a.m, you would walk into Romalo Cafe and we'd probably just be there, right? Like every single day.
Yeah.
And then it went from that to getting married, and we're not complaining or anything about being married. I think we all enjoy our lives, but things just change. And then we started just seeing each other at weddings and baptisms. And I think we're pretty much all done. Obviously, we're all married. I think we're pretty much all done with having kids. So marriages and baptisms
Are you done, George? Are you done?
She's done, so we're done.
Okay.
So that means you want another.
I never closed it.
Yeah.
If she's done, she's done.
Yeah, Cynthia, if you're listening.
I never asked for one. She decided, so we decided.
Talk a bit closer to the mic, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it became weddings, baptisms. So the baptisms seemed to be kind of done. And then we were left with, that's true, right? And then we were left with birthdays.
I didn't even invite you.
To who? To the baptism? It's okay.
I didn't have one.
No, but it's not. That's not the issue. The problem is that, and then there's the birthdays, which after a certain age, you just stop doing them.
You stop inviting people.
Well, no, you only invite. No, you don't stop doing it. You just invite the friends from the daycare or the friends from the school.
But even
You
there, it
can't
gets
invite
too much. Like,
It's not the parents' party anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. Like we just had the 5th birthday, and I told my wife, "Look, I think we can take a rest now and just do another one, maybe when she turns 10." And then take it like every 5. Because every year, man, it's a lot. You invite your family, they have their kids. You invite obviously your friends, and then you can invite one friend, not invite the other, etc. But anyway, so there was the birthdays, and then we had kind of established a tradition to kind of see each other every Christmas at Chris and Alex's house, which was fun.
Mm-hmm. We're still doing that.
Yeah, we're still doing that, and then
We're still
we added Easter to that because we all kind of baptized each other's kids. So we're eventually going to have to see each other to give the Easter gifts to the kids. So we added Easter to the formula. So it was essentially twice a year. Like Andre, I think it's literally twice a year that I see him.
Maybe less.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
maybe less.
Yeah.
Because we skipped Easter last time.
Did we?
Well, I did with Andre, I think.
No, he was over.
Twice a year, yeah. It's not enough, guys, but
So
people don't make the effort, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're not making the effort. If we wanted to make the effort, we could have made the effort.
Yeah.
But everybody's so busy in their lives,
Yeah.
doing what they have to do, that sometimes we forget what we want to do. So
Well, yeah.
I think this is great, right? This is like another excuse. You're right.
Yeah.
I think it's
like
good.
you walked in. You walked in. The first thing you said was, "Where are the kids? Are they here? Are we?
Yeah, how dare you?
Are they sleeping?
How dare you?
Should we whisper?" I'm like, "No. I told my wife take the kids and leave. That's
No,
what
you
happens
already
when I
proved
record."
that you're a bad dad. You haven't started yet. You're proving you're a bad dad.
So I told you, no, that's what happens when I record. I tell my wife take the kids and leave because you
Take
can't
your
record.
kids and leave.
And George is like, "Oh, you're my hero." He knows what he's doing.
You're a genius. Genius.
Okay,
Yeah.
so before we continue, we have to have like a little disclaimer because I'm not sure if you've spoken about this podcast to your wives. I don't know what they think about it. Now, the purpose of this podcast obviously isn't to judge or complain about our marriage. We're obviously, I imagine, are going to talk about our marriage, about our kids, different stories. So we just have to get one thing straight here. The way that we see things happening with our kids, the way that we understand things, when whatever happens, it processes differently in our brains than it does with our wives' brains. So there might come a point at sometime during the podcast, I assume, I don't know, where we might think of a story and we might describe it. And if you're out there listening and you're married to us, it may differ like 100% from the story that you have.
Nah.
So don't
We
judge
can
us.
have them as guests, I think.
We could, yes.
One at a time.
Yeah.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You were afraid to have them together.
Yeah, one at a time. They're gonna gang up on us if they're all together. It's one at a time, and we attack.
I think my wife would be too shy to come on.
Yeah,
Not by herself.
And maybe
probably,
Cynthia would do it. I think
Alex wouldn't do it.
she would.
if they came three together.
I wanted to start something with Alex. She doesn't want to do it.
I think Alex
Yeah,
would be
my
great.
wife-
She
My
can't be a
wife wouldn't
protagonist.
want to do it.
Alex is great for the information, like the backstage, giving the input, but being that front, that would scare her.
She's a good opinion, but she doesn't like.
Great opinion, great, very smart, but
me
But
too,
that's why I think she'd be great.
me too, she
And I
would
think
wanna-
it's only a matter of just getting used to it, right? When you go through like one or two episodes
I
or
don't mind
3
embarrassing her.
recordings
Let's do
or
it.
whatever.
Let's do it.
You don't? Okay, I do. So I want to embarrass my wife. So yeah, so the disclaimer is out of the way. I just felt like we needed that because my wife actually told me this. She's like, "You're recording today?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Listen, don't start like bashing us and everything. Like, don't be disrespectful." I'm like, "That's not the point.
No.
We're not bad men here. You know, we're not gonna start talking like we're not that stupid. You're gonna listen to the episode. I mean, why would we say anything? You know?" Yeah. So I'm happy we're doing this. I'm happy we're doing this. And this isn't, I think, an excuse to just get together. I think it's going to be fun because of the fact that we know each other for so long. And I just think that every time we get together, just funny stuff happens, right? And we just talk about whatever we're doing and whatever our kids are up to. And it's just funny. So I thought it would have been an amazing thing to just put it all on audio and share it with the world, because I'm convinced there's so many dads out there that would probably think the same way that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me start off by saying I don't consider myself I'm not a bad dad, but I don't think I'm as good as I can be.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not home a lot, and I'm trying to be home more. So this was funny when we're thinking about doing this. That's what I said.
Yeah, I
That's
remember.
what I expressed to you guys. It's like I find it a little weird that I have to leave the house to go talk about how good or how bad of a dad I am away from my family.
I remember. And then George said, "Look, ditch something else.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Ditch something else.
I don't know what to ditch yet.
Keep the podcast."
Yeah, you're right. But this is fun, and I think we're not naturally complainers, but I think the Greek in us kind of makes us a bit.
I don't complain at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
George complains.
I just give it straight.
You just give it how it is. You just say it how it is.
I think so.
What did you
Yeah.
complain about when you walked in here? The lights,
I complain about the
the sound panels.
sound panels.
I was gonna say something about that sweater.
What's wrong with the sweater?
It doesn't fit.
Speaking of which, you guys have lost a lot of weight, and I feel kind of weird because I was always the skinny one.
You were very skinny.
Yeah.
You were very skinny.
You know what's funny? Because you weren't there.
Can I have that sweater?
Yeah, it's gonna fit around one of your thighs. you wear it around one leg.
Wait, I don't know who's thinner.
I don't know. And we're not gonna talk about weight.
Okay.
At least not. I don't mind. But
No.
the truth is that I didn't gain weight. But here's the funny thing. Because last week when we met, we had a little meeting just to discuss about what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it, and
please.
and how we're gonna do it and everything. You were a little bit late, so George came to pick me up. We went to this coffee shop in Griffintown. And I don't know if I should say this, but it was the funniest thing ever because you're both fasting or whatever you're doing, the intermittent fasting thing. And
great results, by the way.
We're going to talk about that if you want. But so here's the thing. We're waiting for you to come. And the guy running the joint comes, he brings us our coffee. And I think it was at 8:30. He's closing at 10. He had like a piece of cake left. He was probably thinking, this is the last day that I can probably use it. Nobody else is probably going to walk in here. So let me just give it to these guys. So he gave it to us for free. He cut it in half. It came. And I didn't really know what to do with it because I don't know this guy. I don't know how fresh this thing is. So we're both kind of just looking at it. And then George turns around and says, he said it was zucchini.
Yeah.
Zucchini. And he's like,
zucchini cake.
Yeah,
It's like one of those cakes where they kind of mask the vegetable in it so get your kids to eat it.
I don't know, this vegan thing probably. I'm not sure. But
my wife made it something exactly like it.
And it was good?
Yeah.
So
it's a way to get your kids to eat zucchini.
But this is the thing. He goes to me, my wife makes that. I wonder if it tastes as good. I got to taste it. But it goes, I'm fasting now. He goes, do you have a paper anywhere? I'm like, what do you want a paper for? He goes, do you have a plate? I'm like, what do you want? He goes, like, I want to chew it just to taste it, but I don't want to swallow it. So
that's my life.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Just eat the cake.
I didn't expect the world to know. I was just telling you about it. But anyway.
I just found it funny.
I'm about to open up the book on you. So.
These are the results of
he
intermittent
smacks
fasting.
his kids with belts.
No, I don't.
I've seen it 4 times.
Yeah.
I'm
Child
bullshitting.
protection services.
Not true.
But this intermittent fasting thing, it's working out for you guys.
Yeah.
I haven't been dieting properly, but I have been doing the intermittent fasting, and it's the only way I keep it off and maybe lose a pound here and there.
Yeah.
And I'm eating about, this is failing at my diet. I'm eating about 2,500 calories a day. I should be around 2,000. But the fact that I'm doing the fasting, I'm not putting any weight back on. I'm even losing gradually. Where if I wasn't doing the fasting, eating 2,600, I'd be gaining to 2 pounds a month, maybe more.
But you told me you also walk every day.
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Schedule changed.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, the walking is a great way to stay light, and if you've eaten, I don't know, 2,500 calories and you burned another 5,000-6,000 by walking, that's a dieting day. That's a day that gives you results.
But you're training though, Chris.
Yeah, I am training. I think you know what? You got to do both.
You need to do both because the exercise keeps you at least.
Well, prevents the muscle to go away.
Yes, be close.
You can eat without it feeling any guilt if you're exercising.
That's right.
And if you eat in excess, it takes care of that. It's a balanced day versus a diet day or whatever.
I think I got to do another 80 pounds, and I'll be somewhere where.
What have you lost? What have you lost so far?
Well, my peak was 320, and now I'm at 245.
Wow, you've lost
320, and now I'm 245. I want to go to 170, 180.
That's amazing.
Because once, and I've heard this from a lot of people, once you're at the 170, 180 range for my height, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to maintain than it is to lose. And I've struggled with weight all my life.
Yeah.
So it's like now I'm getting it. I'm doing it slow. I'm training. I'm training with Nick Drossos, for the people who know him. Great trainer, martial arts kind of guy. And
shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's the training component, there's the eating component, there's the sleeping well component, and there's, I guess, the avoiding certain stuff component, meaning like the sugar, trying to stay away from the carbs. You want to stay away from like the alcohol, which is for me the hardest thing because of work, right?
Yeah.
Well, work. One of the things I do is I play music, and Saturday nights, and people get crazy there.
Social component.
Yeah. But I think it's, I'll keep this up. Another 70, 80 to go. So intermittent fasting is
because you reach a point where you want to kind of show the example to your kids.
Congrats on that, by the way.
Yeah. Like I look at my father-in-law, who's like completely ripped. The guy's closing in on 70, or I don't even know how old he is, but he's probably there.
He's not 70.
Bruce Lee.
He's not 70.
Yeah, I think he's like he's between 65 and 70.
67. He told me at your birthday.
Oh, he did? Okay, there you go.
He's 67?
Yeah.
Really?
Like I don't think I've seen a man his age look better. He's ripped.
No, he's right.
He comes over. He comes over to swim in the pool. He's like, are you coming in? I'm like, it's okay. I'll just keep my shirt on. It's you just enjoy the kids on this one.
George puts on a shirt, goes inside.
Alberto Sassoon is 67.
He's between 65 and 70, and he's looking better than ever, the man. And I'm just thinking, my wife grew up in a house, in a setting where that was kind of that backdrop, right? It's like the father, hardworking man.
That was the role
obviously.
model.
Yeah. The role is like, this is her role model now, right? A guy that's extremely fit, trains every single day, and he's still continuing. And I'm thinking, I need to be a role model for my kids. And the other day, my daughter came around and she goes to me, you got to start exercise because your tummy's too big. And I'm thinking, who told her that? Like, where did she hear that one from?
My kid lifts my shirt and just smacks my belly.
He slaps
with all her might. All her might.
She's feisty, the little one.
Yeah. I love her. She's crazy, but I love her.
She's 3.
Yeah.
Kids have no filter, man.
Yeah.
They expose you.
No, past a certain age, you got to be careful.
They expose you.
You got to be careful what you say because they listen to everything and then just go repeat it.
That's the hardest part.
It's the reason I quit cigarettes and lost weight.
I thought you were going to say it's the reason I quit talking to my kids.
No, the role model thing we're talking about.
It does change.
I said to myself, I had told myself when Alex was born that I want to be thin by 5. I want him to remember, because 5 is when the kid starts really remembering his memories. If you go back to 5, before that, you got a few scattered memories.
I'm late already. Yeah.
You lost a lot of weight. How much did you lose?
104.
104.
The 104 is my peak. And now I'm up like 5, 6, 7 in place.
Wow, man.
But that's how I'm doing the intermittent fasting to manage it. But I did it for them because I didn't want them to remember me that way, so they could remember me the other way.
Yeah. Because you still pictures, right?
Yeah, but it's okay.
At a certain age, they're gonna appreciate the accomplishment.
Nobody prints pictures anymore, man. It's not like when we grew up and you went into the closet and you picked out an album and you started looking into it. Everything is on. Like you print pictures, you.
Yeah, sometimes.
My wife has been trying to print pictures for 6 years.
And?
Well, they're on the table.
All mixed up.
We'll get to it.
She's printed them, or she has not?
No, she wants to print them. I think we have the frames.
Oh, so the frames are on the table.
Do them at Costco. You could do.
Yeah, we know where to get them done. Just have to get them done. Sorry, Alex.
Just the frames with a promotional picture.
That's
like, who are those people?
Somebody else's family.
That's good enough.
What you're saying is important because your kids are gonna start thinking, okay, what does my dad do? Because that's how they develop their habits as well. I think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have girls, so I don't know what kind of habits they're going to develop for me. But
I have a boy and a girl. Hey, 2 girls, boy and a girl, and you have
and boys.
All right, good dynamic.
Equal number across the board.
But what you're saying, just to add to what you're saying, I think I had my kid before you guys, a few years before, right? Mm-hmm. My kid's 10, and I saw the change because you guys hadn't had kids yet.
Yeah.
So I saw the change, and I saw it in my driving. I saw it in my like a yellow light is no longer. Go. Yeah. The yellow light is you stop now. That's at least how I see it. And I see myself driving really, really slow. So it's the little habits you pick up just because you have kids. And now I'm at the point where everything I do, it's always in reflection of what my son is going to think of me. Yep. So I see him he's the one judging.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
What actions do I take, right? What things do I say?
Yeah.
What decisions do I make? And how is he going to interpret that?
Closer.
You know what I mean?
If he's proud of you, he's proud of himself.
That's it. So that's how I think. With the little one, still the play stuff, but I think I'm going a little bit, I don't know. I try to make up for the time that I'm not there. So when I'm there, it's like, it's the right attitudes, the right advice.
But what's interesting in your case also is that there's a significant difference in age, right? Between the first and the second one.
You know what that means?
Yeah. What?
That means there's nothing we can do together.
No, but I'm not talking.
That's what that means.
Yeah, maybe in terms of the activities. But what I'm thinking is like her role model. Of course, there's you because you're her dad, but then she has a much older brother. Yeah. And I mean,
that's just sweet.
Yeah, nobody can hear you. Bro. You gotta come closer.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. What's sweet about that? Because it's look, once it's good, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Mhm.
You see it and you're like, wow. Once it's bad though, it's really bad.
Like, does
Like when they fight, it's bad.
they actually do fight?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Siblings, man.
siblings, man. They always fight.
But he's much older. Like, he doesn't understand. Okay, she's just a kid.
They fight because it's all intensity, right? It's emotional. But then when they're done fighting, they know how to love each other again.
But like, does he understand that being much older than she is, like, he has that role to play, like
Say again?
because of the age gap that they have, the difference in their age. Does he understand that I need to be the role model?
So,
like,
yeah.
has he matured that way?
Well,
Yeah. He's 10, she's 3.
Yeah.
All right. So he knows that his role is to kind of be the second parent. So he knows that we're not there. He's in charge.
Yeah.
So he does have that kind of, let me nurture, let me be the big brother. But at the same time, like what I forget sometimes, and I'm a little hard on him, is that he's 10, which means he's still a kid, which that's great.
Banging,
That's
banging
Half
job.
the coffee fell on the
which
table.
means he's
You
still
were
a kid.
never a waiter.
So if he's a kid, that means he needs to have fun. He needs to instigate. He needs to like make fun of. He needs to,
Domination is an instinct,
yeah.
and people when you're around smaller kids,
And that's a fun dynamic.
it's just a dynamic.
I find it's a fun dynamic, but it gets overwhelming.
Because
But I gotta give it to my wife because look, we've been together with my wife for a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah.
So we've learned the balance. Like we had all our fights early on, so we don't argue about anything anymore. But we're a team. But I gotta give it to her because maybe this may sound old school, but she takes care of the kids a little bit more.
Yeah.
We have that kind of agreement, that kind of format in my house. So when I get to play with the kids, I get to play with the kids, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit of the setting with a 10 and a 7-year-old. But what I meant by we can't do anything is we can't do anything, right? What the 7-year-old wants, what the 3-year-old wants and what the 10-year-old wants, it's not the same thing.
Sometimes she pushes him. Probably has to like
Yeah,
set her straight.
if she's having fun, he might be bored. If he's having fun, she might be too excited.
No, but when
bored as
she's
well.
bored and doesn't want to hang out with her, he probably has to like put his foot down on her and
Yeah.
scare her a little.
It's
like,
fun.
like you're looking for activities to do that ranges from really young to like really.
Well, sometimes it's like we make our decision of whether we're going to go somewhere, and the criteria is, are both kids going to have fun?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So oftentimes you see yourselves going like that.
Either we go like that, either we have to say no to one, either we have to like, like pretty much like figure out on the spot.
You each take a kid.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Yeah. But that's also, since we're talking about parenthood and all that stuff and fatherhood,
You're a bit too far. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's too close to me, I find.
No.
Even though I sing, guys, it's a little close.
Yeah, just one hand.
I sing like this though.
that you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I know I shouldn't, but I want to sound better like that.
No.
Effortless.
So what was I saying? You weren't listening. Were you listening?
I was listening.
No, I wasn't. I forgot.
Age.
No, I was listening.
That's because you're close to 40, man. That's because you're close to 40. Anyways,
Something
I
about
lost my train
parenting.
of thought.
No, you were
the
saying
parenting.
parenting,
Yeah. We're. I find, and you guys are you're really gonna feel this. Maybe you haven't vocalized it, but I find that we're the generation of parents that take our kids places, but don't get to really spend time with them. Like I'm going everywhere, bringing my kid everywhere, but I don't really spend time with him. You know what I mean? It's like I just take him places.
Because he's doing the activity.
He's doing the activity, so I take him there. But it's an illusion that you're spending time with him because you're actually what? You're just bringing him here and picking him up, going there.
Play fight, tickle him.
Yeah. No, we still do that.
That's
but
the
I'm just saying it's like it's very little time.
Yeah.
And if you think in 24 hours, right? Let's say you sleep 8, you have 16 left.
Yeah.
16, you work 8. Now you have 8 left. Out of the 8, the maintenance, brushing teeth, showering, doing all that stuff, right? You're down to like maybe 4. Out of those 4, you're arguing, do your homework, go take a shower. You're down to 2.
Mhm.
So the quality hour or hours per day is very small.
No, it's mine. You have to count them per week or month because
Yeah, it's too small.
you have to raise your kids too.
Yeah.
It's not just
But
fun.
raising
There's quality time occasionally, and the rest of the time you're raising kids, man.
So
You're-
if you start thinking about it that way, it's like, man, that's what made me think I gotta put more effort.
But he's also doing a bunch of activities though, man. He's in
It's crazy.
soccer
I
and
love
he's
it.
in all sorts of places.
I love it.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. We're going to Spain again this year for his soccer. Look, you got to keep him busy. You got to keep him busy because life is busy. And the more he does, the more like he's starting to get interested in his schedule right now. Hey, he sees that I have everything by calendar. I work by calendar all the time. He sees like, what can I do? How do you manage that? And look, I'm at that point now where I see him turning into he's not a teenager yet, but he's getting those habits and he's asking the right questions, I find.
Yeah.
And with the little one, I still get to play.
Yeah.
So I got both of these worlds. But like I said, the only regret is like I spend a little bit, I don't spend as much time as maybe I should.
Yeah.
And I used to think, you know what, let me make the little time quality time instead of quantity.
Yeah.
But I realize kids want quantity.
Yeah.
It's not just quality. You got to give them quantity. They demand quantity.
Because I don't think they understand quality yet, do they?
Well,
They always
get
think
it.
quantity is the best thing. Everything is multiplied. Oh, it's so much better when you multiply.
The more the better.
That's
The more the
mentality.
better. The more the better.
Like how many times you play hide and go seek and you do the same thing over and over again?
Yeah.
You know?
The same place.
The same
The
place.
same
Exactly.
place. The same place. She thinks she's hiding,
Yeah.
but it's the same place.
Yeah.
But it's the repetition.
Yeah.
The repetition is where the fun is for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Is your kids the age gap?
2 years.
2. That's not so bad.
Best friends.
Best buddies.
But they kill each other.
But they kill each other.
Yeah, kicks to the
Boys.
chest.
Oh, man.
Punches in the face.
My sister has.
I swear to God. The young guy started going for the nuts.
Because you have them in Kung Fu.
Well, I have one in Kung Fu. The other one, when they asked us, just take him away. It doesn't work.
He doesn't want to do Kung
He does not like Kung Fu, but he sings a lot. He sings a lot.
that's good.
he
That's
sings-
good.
he sings
A little artist.
Very musical. He's always like this.
You need everything. You need everything. You know what? Guys, you know what's very important?
He hasn't zeroed in on anything, but
How old is he?
4.
4. Yeah, man. They're still
Getting them exposed to everything.
The thing is, you want him to cling on to something early, just to have some momentum in the sense that I keep myself busy. I keep myself busy.
That's right. Yeah.
Even if you don't like it long term, there's going to be a reflex when he goes to the next thing.
That's
There's
right,
a pattern.
that's right.
I go, I shut up, I listen, I try.
I go, I'm part
Yeah.
of a group.
Yeah.
There's rules. I follow them. I need to show up.
Yeah. Individual
Whether I care or
effort,
not,
instructor,
that's where it's at.
group setting,
Yeah, yeah.
people watching you, because my kids have the shy factor.
But
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very important to
Like-
expose them because you don't know
Yeah.
what they like.
It
Like
started-
I play music, I play guitar, and I had him in drums for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you taught him a couple of things,
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
And he was really good because he grasped it real quick. But then that was
Lost
it.
interest. It
That
wasn't
was
a toy for
That
him
was it.
anymore.
Now we gravitated to soccer. Soccer is like,
But he's into that one, right?
oh, he's into soccer. But I still want an instrument or I still want something else.
You want the artistic
I
side.
want something else on
Yeah,
the
but
side.
if he's not into it, I mean, are you gonna force him
never,
to? Yeah?
never.
You can't force.
When I was learning guitar, guys,
force anything.
my parents had to stop me. It was stop playing.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
You're annoying me. Stop
you
it.
need to stop now.
Yeah.
With Gerasimo, I saw after a point, it was like, man, you're not gonna go practice your drums. Those chops, you don't want to play a bit. No, maybe later. From that point was like, you know what, maybe drums is not fair. So I paid for the lessons, I did everything, but you know what, you can't push. You can't push passion.
So what?
Our jobs as parents, as dads, is to detect it and say, hey, there's something here,
Yeah.
and I think you got to take this and hone it.
All you could do is trim the bushes. You can't walk into the path.
you're not gonna walk them.
He has to walk
Yeah,
himself.
That's right.
to the path.
That's right. So what's a typical day for you
Right now,
with the little princesses?
I'm going to tell you one thing because, and this we had this conversation like in the past. My life drastically changed last year, where I went from a super busy schedule, working in politics and everything, to just helping my wife build her family business, which is a completely different thing, right? And I remember late last year after the campaign, I woke up, it was like 10:30 in the morning, and the girls are bouncing on me, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't think I'm supposed to be in bed. Like, what time is it?
At 10:30.
I was so like lost, right? And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've fully transitioned yet. I mean, sometimes I still think, do I need a job now? I mean, I'm supposed to be busy, right? I'm supposed to keep myself, busy. I have to get out of the house. I mean, so I'm still kind of in that little bubble. I'm still kind of in that phase. But aside from that, I'll tell you one thing, and my wife was completely right, because I think, we could be doing much better with a company, but we're developing at a pace where it allows us to kind of stay home during the day, because most of the work we do is in the evenings or at night. And it's an advantage that not many parents have, right? To be home with their kids. So I got to live that, because she's been living that since we gave birth to the first to Emma. So she never went back to work. She just went straight to helping out her dad. So she's had from, let's say, mid 2014 to 2015 until today, she's gotten kind of used to that that lifestyle, and she's fully immersed in it. Whereas me, I'm thinking, is this normal, right? Because my normalcy was wake up in the morning, what's in the news, prepare your stuff, go to the office, work until 5. After 5, what do you have? You have all these events, and then the weekends, loaded with a bunch of other stuff. So that was my normalcy. So me transitioning from that to doing nothing until 3, 4 o'clock. It was, and there was a big fear of falling into like procrastination and getting lazy. This is your headset. If you want to lower it or if you want to increase it,
I think George needs a pet.
No.
I don't think he's ready for it.
We were saying this story before going on air. My daughter, she's like, "Okay, Dad, when the fish we have dies, what's next? What's the next animal?" And I'm like, "Oh, please don't take it there." I was talking to myself. I'm like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?" She's like, "I want a dog." I'm like, "I don't think so." She's like, "Okay, can we get a cat?" I'm like, "No, too much hair." "Okay, can we get a dog?" Because the first time didn't work. Maybe the second time, but having 2 girls. Look, man, I'm in a little princess castle. You know what I mean? It's like I'm living in a Disney movie, and I don't know. And plus, I have my wife. So there's 3 women. All you see are dolls everywhere.
And there's your mother-in-law too.
And my mother-in-law and my mother. But
does your mother come often?
My mother not so often. But we go there. We visit my parents.
You sound like you need to borrow someone's son.
So someone asked me, are you guys having more kids? And deep down, I feel like another pair of testicles wouldn't be a bad idea in this house. But then I'm thinking, what if it's another girl? Could I live with that? Like 4 of them? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Twin girls.
On top of it,
twins.
Like I'm not sure the risk is worth it. Right? Not that we won't love that 3rd kid, but
I know about, is it 3 families? Yeah.
I know, actually, sorry. I know a guy who had a daughter.
Plus, we have twins on both sides of the family.
Oh, yeah?
That's another reason we...
I know a guy who had his first child was a girl. And then he goes, I just want 2. And hopefully it's a boy. And he got twin daughters. So
Karma didn't like him.
Yeah, exactly. So being with girls, man, that's what it is, man. It's a story time. It's princess. It's let's play dress up. My old daughter now is into like, like this whole imaginary thing of she sings and dances all the time.
There you go.
She goes up on the stairs and where we have the living room, and she looks at the mirror at the front door, and she can spend all day there just looking at herself in the mirror, dancing and singing the whole day.
It's good.
Yeah, no, but she just likes to see herself. Like she's like, okay, let me dance, and then she goes up, she dresses up. She puts on whatever she puts on. She comes down, and then she might go up and change again. And that's just, she's in her little world.
It sounds like having boys. Mine is breaking the house.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. It's just break the house.
But we've been very lucky, honestly. Like there's nothing wrong with a house still.
Yeah.
And we got very lucky with them in their sleeping patterns too. And I feel bad saying this because a lot of other people.
I'm waiting for my luck to kick in. You better be careful.
Both of them, they were very good sleepers. They would eat well. Just lately, Emma, I think her mind is just elsewhere. We have trouble feeding her.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like she's gonna eat. Like she doesn't starve or anything. It's just that
is she on heroin?
Yeah.
Maybe she's singing. I don't know.
No, it's just that she just doesn't want to stop doing whatever she's doing. We're like, okay, we're eating. Oh, no, I don't want to eat.
It's not interesting for her. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's just
but she's what is she doing? She's playing something?
Yeah, she's
whatever. Give her 5 minutes.
You know what I mean? There's no 5 minutes, man. It's like running after her with a spoon.
They're only going to replace a task if a funner task comes along.
If the hunger is not stronger than the desire.
But it changed though, right? Because we used to sit on the table, we would eat, and then it was perfect. I was like, oh my God, look, she's eating everything.
That's Philip.
Like the little one now. She just wants to eat all the time. She sleeps well. Perfect. And I was talking with my wife the other day. I'm like, do you think there's any chance that she might turn like Emma, where suddenly she just doesn't eat like she used to? Putting my older daughter to bed. What time do your kids go to sleep?
My eldest, he's knocked out by 7:30, 45 max. Knocked out. And my youngest, 8:30, 8:35. Because he takes a nap at school. So
I'm ashamed to even say this. My daughter, the old one, some days like 10:30, 11, she's still up.
Yeah. That's Maria.
I'm going to call the cops.
That's Maria. And you know what? I feel like I shouldn't talk about this, but
it's your wife's fault. Okay.
No, I don't blame
my wife. It's
all
her fault.
I never blame her for stuff. Sometimes. We need an episode just to cover how much our kids don't sleep.
It's crazy.
Both. Gerasimo started sleeping.
He started sleeping.
At
He hasn't
8.
slept since he was born.
No, he started sleeping his nights. He started sleeping his nights at around 8 years old.
Yeah, I
He
remember.
started sleeping his nights at 8 years old.
8 years old.
Oh,
My wife hasn't slept in, I think, 12 years.
yeah.
His oldest son is
She's experienced the stories she's told me. man.
his oldest son is 10, but she
You know
hasn't slept for
what? I
12
found
years.
this new respect.
The math
This
doesn't
new
work.
He
out.
kept her up in the belly.
Guys, men and women all aren't built the same.
Where's the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not built the same. Okay. And I think it's a misnomer to think that men are built tougher. Alex, my wife, has
In
been
what way,
running
though?
on no fuel,
Oh yeah,
very little sleep
yeah.
for honestly, guys, 3 years.
And she does this, and she does things like a champ, right? Yeah.
And all it did is it affected her memory a little bit. Like the memory is a little bit off, or sometimes it's like I'll talk to her, she'll fall asleep while I'm talking to her.
Yeah, that's fine. That's normal.
Like she'll fall asleep in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah, but if it continues, it'll be more than just memory.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is that
no, but
you
memory,
see-
like nothing serious, like memory in the sense that I forgot to go buy milk, kind of thing.
I thought we were Sunday.
it's like Wednesday.
It's Wednesday next year.
Yeah.
But you're old. But I remember Gerasimo always had problems sleeping.
Yeah, but they both do.
I remember once we.
So now we all sleep together.
Oh no, that's the other thing. But wait, because I remember once I called him. I'm like, you want to go grab a coffee? He's like, yeah, sure, pass by. So was I married? I don't think I was married. So he was probably 2 or 3 years old. I don't know,
Mhm.
whatever. And I'm approaching and I send him a message. I'm like, yeah, I'm there soon. And he's like, actually drive in the back of the lane. Come get me from the back. I was like, what? And so I'm like, okay, whatever. So I drive in the back. He comes down. I'm like, what's wrong? What's going on? He goes, because we're in the kitchen. He fell asleep in the front bedroom and I can't walk down the corridor to take the stairs. I'm going to
Very
wake
light sleeper.
I'm going to wake
Alex
him
is a
up.
light sleeper.
The
That's
floor's going to
terrible.
crack and wake him up.
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
terrible.
he snuck out of the kitchen from the back.
Yeah, yeah. So my wife's a trooper just for handling that.
Okay, but wait, the sleeping situation, you fall asleep altogether or
No,
they come in?
No,
they
I
to
come
bed?
home very late. Well, now,
Do you even find room in the bed to
no,
sleep?
actually, let me just.
Man, why is it everybody I know has this issue? Like, is it just my parents was very clear. You just don't knock on the door. If it's closed, you wait.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with us.
We broke that rule
Everybody
in my
I know.
house.
Everybody, me too. You, your brother-in-law, everybody lives
you know why?
living this nightmare.
You know why?
Dude, I have a king size bed and I use something as wide as half of this table to sleep. That's me in a king size bed.
Yeah, about 1.5 feet. That's what we get.
This is it. This is what I use. This is it. one strip like that. That's what I use.
Like a third of you is
I'm
leaving.
on my side like this, and I might fall.
Yeah, yeah.
They have nice beds. I paid.
Maria has a bigger bed than me.
They definitely get more bed than I do.
So
Yeah.
wait, you get home late. Are they already in your bed?
Yeah, they're reading stories. So I'll come in, maybe read a story, or I'll just say goodnight. But they're all sleeping.
What if
together.
they're all asleep? What do you stay on the couch?
Alex actually presently what she's doing
Yeah.
is she puts him to bed. So Gerasimo and Maria sleep on this huge bed because it's like a double bed, right? Comes out. So they sleep together.
Yeah.
And she does, once she's done, she comes to our bed. Then she wakes up around 1 because Maria is crying. Then she'll go back to our bed. She'll come back to our bed around 3. Then Maria's going to cry around 4. So that's what she does.
Wait, she goes to their bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't wake up and come to yours?
No.
How do you sleep all together?
Well, they sleep together and we play all together, but then I gotta go to my bed.
So you bring
I gotta wear my mask.
you bring. Oh, okay, I understand.
You have to move into the living room by yourself. That's what I've done. I sleep in the living room so often. It's yesterday's news.
Because look, our little one, she passes out by 8:30 max. She's out, which is perfect, and she wakes up around 7:30 in the morning. Look, but I remember also Emma was like that. She was a great sleeper, no problem. Ever since we took Emma out of the crib and we had a bed that she was able to crawl out from, that's it.
I had no doubt that your kids will be good sleepers.
You
know how I met this guy?
George takes 6-hour naps. He's told me that.
I met George in kindergarten, and we actually became friends because one day he slept so much that he couldn't wake up. And the teacher,
nap.
the big nap on those little mats. So the teacher said, Chris, go with him and wash his face. So I actually took him. Remember that, George? I actually brought him to wash his face because he
was
couldn't
asleep.
Yeah, it was like, man, I don't want to wake up.
He went to bed at 11
his
too.
body just said, I'm not waking up.
Come on, man. Who doesn't enjoy sleeping?
Were you like
Come
your
on.
daughter? Like you'd sleep at 11 o'clock. That's why.
No. My parents were really strict with it. Oh yeah, I think by 8
parents-
max we were out.
My parents weren't that strict with that.
No.
7:30, 8.
I remember sometimes I was in elementary and sometimes I'd catch the 11 o'clock news.
No way.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
father would have killed me.
But
No
I lived
way.
across the street from my school, so I'd wake up at 7:30, go across the street.
I would have all-nighters with my mom. My dad would go to bed and I would sit,
Hanging out.
hang out with my mom.
Yeah.
So, and then,
Never,
I
never.
did the clubs. Then I was always
Oh,
working
yeah.
late. And
No.
I don't, the good thing about me is I could function on 3 hours of sleep and I can function on 12. It doesn't
We're not
matter.
talking about now. We're talking about when you were like in like
Sleep didn't matter.
6, 7, 8-year-old
Yeah,
kid.
yeah, kid.
Well, yeah, it didn't matter. We would go out and look at a big difference between our parents and how we are parents today. We used to go out, right? When we were 8 or 9. And we came home once our parents had enough. If we're tired, we would just lie on a chair or a couple of chairs.
Yeah,
right?
they didn't care.
They didn't care. It's
Yeah.
like, we're partying, we're going home at 3, you're going to be here.
Yeah.
Now you have all parents.
Now it's like,
around
oh my God,
11
okay, we
o'clock,
gotta
it's like,
go.
we gotta go.
We gotta
She's
go.
tired. She wants to go to bed.
Yeah. So it's different. We adapted.
Put
No.
your mouth on the mic.
You know how many times I've slept on chairs when I was young?
Yeah.
How many times have you seen
dance.
that? How many times have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
At baptisms,
I've
at
lived it,
weddings,
yeah.
at little halls where we used to go.
No, us was very strict. By 8 max, we were in bed, except for Monday. I remember because Monday there was MacGyver that we used to watch. So it was from 8 to 9.
I love that intro.
MacGyver.
The explosions, the helicopter, the tank.
Yeah.
What a show! So
So he can make a bomb with what's on the
a
table.
paper
right now.
clip. Yeah, no, we're missing
With a pencil and scotch tape.
we're missing a paper clip. No, but they were very strict. I think they stopped caring maybe when we reached like the end of elementary school, grade 5,
Oh.
grade 6. But even then, I mean, we wouldn't stay up too late.
No, they cared me. It's just that
They cared, but it was
I
just-
didn't care. I was like that.
But you also had older sisters,
My
right?
parents, by the time they had me, they were sick of parenting.
You were the last one.
Just
They're
tell me
"Listen,
when
we
you're
don't
done."
care." Yeah.
Tell me when you're done, F off.
Yeah.
It's usually the thing with the youngest one, though. Like it's the same thing with my brother. He's the youngest. I think it's the same thing. My parents
They're
were like,
fed up, yeah.
you know,
Yeah, they're done.
Whatever.
They did it twice.
They did it twice and the
They did it
results didn't
twice.
change. What's the
Yeah,
point of
what's the
screaming?
point?
Yeah, the first time it was the test. We're like, okay, can we do this? You know? And then the second kid, it's
Kids are like pancakes, bro. The first one's a throwaway.
if my sister's listening, it was the other joke. Yeah, so the second kid is usually okay, let's try and fix things we couldn't get right with the first one. So the second kid gets all the shit, right? And then the third one's like, listen, man, at this point, you know, the first two were completely different. Screw it. Yeah.
The second one's usually the crowd pleaser.
I don't know, guys. I've been an only child, so
My wife is an only child.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. No complaints, no regrets.
Yeah, you
if
had
I had to go back and redo it again, I do it again.
Because you had all the toys to yourself.
Not only that, it was just
It's a different dynamic.
it was a different dynamic.
He got to play only with adults for the most part.
But I had a lot of friends. We always had
it's
people
it.
coming
It's it.
over.
Your house dynamic
So-
was different, but
Yeah,
when you were outside,
that's
you
right.
appreciated it.
Like when
more.
I was at the house, I was the prince.
when you were
But
out, when you were out being social, you probably tried a little
Yeah,
better than most
yeah.
people
No,
because
my dad
you
was
wanted it
strict.
to make it
my
work.
dad was strict. He was a strict guy. Like you had to come. You show up correct with my dad. You know, there's the right way and there's the wrong way.
It's the start down.
Yeah. So I got spoiled, like in the right way,
Mhm.
but I didn't get spoiled enough to make me rotten. You know what I mean?
He still raised you.
It gave me a good balance, and I can understand both dynamics.
He
now.
raised you.
Yeah, very good. He did okay.
Like at what point did your parents, like your fathers, for example, stop being a father and he was like a friend, like a buddy? Because I noticed that. Like up until high school, my dad was like the strictest person ever. The strictest. And I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that at some point, you know, the factory was working, went bankrupt, so he was off work for a while, so he was home. Maybe he had time to clear up his mind and calm down a bit. I don't know if it had time to kind of coincide, but it felt as though as soon as we went into high school, he just became a buddy. He was like a cool person, right? It felt as though the strictness kind of just disappeared.
Yeah. Mine wasn't like that. Mine, I think, was more like intermittent. It was on and off. The buddy came on and off. My dad became a buddy when he had to for a very short period of time, and then was back to that father figure. So I had a lot of the be careful. My dad, no education, like our dad's, right, I guess, but a lot of common sense. Like the fundamentals were right. He knew the fundamentals. He had those down. He knew how to do it. He wasn't able to express it a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the buddy was intermittent, occasionally at the right occasion, and then back to, hey, I'm your dad. And I think that's powerful. And I think we don't have that today. I think parents today, we try to be buddies too much, too fast.
And then they step all over you.
Well, then you're a buddy. Once you're a buddy, you're a buddy. Once you've said certain things to each other, you can't take those back. And then the hierarchy is no longer there.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we miss it. So yeah, you got to be a buddy, but you can't raise a kid being his buddy.
I find it very difficult to be strict
My dad
with my
was
daughters.
always
That's because
strict.
you're a buddy.
My dad was always strict and serious till the end. Strict and serious. He's always a no nonsense kind of guy.
Yeah.
No nonsense. Come correct. Yeah. You show up correct.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, you show up correct.
Or you hear about it.
Yeah.
Like, how many of your soccer games did your dad actually come to?
My dad. Soccer games. 0, man.
When did you play soccer?
No. He was look, he always asked about it. Look, my dad was a hardworking guy.
It was,
Work was
for him.
first.
Soccer was you're playing. You're
I'm
having
playing.
fun.
It's like having fun. Like he would ask me about it. Did you score any goals? Good for you.
Yeah.
You know? Like I remember once we went to Barclay. Like he's like, let's see. Now that I'm older, I can kind of go back and think how we
It
felt.
was like awkward.
But no, it wasn't awkward. There's zero awkward moments with my
He
dad.
came with his dress shoes.
Yeah,
and his
he came
jeans.
with good pants. My dad started wearing jeans like 5 years ago.
Andre's dad used to wear dress pants.
Yeah,
too.
all the time
Beige.
with the boot,
Yeah,
with the boot and the zipper.
boot.
The zipper
It's
and
a
the
little
Yeah.
duck
and a
with
little
that.
heel.
So I feel like now that I think about it, like he probably felt bad, or my mom probably said, "Hey, you never
Take the kid
you know,
out,
spending
yeah.
time with your kid, right?" So we went to Barclay, took a few shots, and that was it. We got bored. Let's go home. You know, let's go back to the real setting.
We tried it.
We tried it. Let's go back to how we are. And you know what, guys? Zero regret, man.
Yeah.
It was that dynamic, and you know what? I've kind of adopted that dynamic with my kid, and it works. I find it works.
I remember once, and because we spent a lot of time up north, right? Our summers, our winters.
Yeah,
but,
you guys had that. Yeah.
We had the place up north, and we still doing it. It's the best thing we ever had. And I remember, and my father, the only thing he did was just drive us to the village where they had the baseball field, and
Maybe
they
we
had
should do a recording up north
yeah.
Yeah.
while we're
Yeah,
chilling.
yeah. Daytime.
Away from
Daytime
everything.
windows.
That's it.
Daylight.
Yeah. Anyway.
So that was all he did. It
Yeah.
was just to drive us. So at some point, we're getting ready to go play. We played a lot of baseball, and he goes, "Here, give me a mitt," and I'm like, "What?
Baseball.
Yeah." I'm like,
He
"Does he?"
threw there, but it went there.
No. I'm like, does he even know how to wear this thing? And so like you saw, like he kind of struggled to put it. He wasn't sure which hand, whatever. So he grabs the ball. He went first. I'm like, he threw first. Like, thank God, because if I had, I'm not even sure if he knew how to catch it.
Face.
But anyway. So he threw first, and the way he threw, like it was like this weird sidearm with a twist of a wrist, and I'm like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Who throws like that?" I mean, didn't you have a childhood? Didn't you ever throw a rock?
They
There was
threw
no
rocks.
baseball. They threw rocks. Yeah, but okay, you
It
threw
was
a
too
rock.
round.
Didn't
No,
you
you know
throw a rock in the pond?
He tried to do it with style. He wanted to look good doing it.
It was too round. I'm not used to this perfect circular object. It
was too round for the guy.
I need a rugged rock.
Give me a cube.
So that was it. I was like, what just happened here? And I was like, all right, it's okay. Yeah, let's just go to the park now. Drive us there and drop us off. And that was it. That was the only time my dad pitched the baseball at me.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's the little moments, but I remember them. But I remember, look, my dad was like, you see, I don't remember a lot of playtime with my dad, but I remember moments.
Yeah.
And you know
moments
what?
for sure.
Somehow, man, this guy's in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, like we'll argue about certain things, or I won't take his advice on certain things. But man, the common sense is always there.
Yeah.
For me, it was always two things. It was my dad's common sense, obviously.
Yeah.
It came with, it's not only common sense, it's common sense with his twist, with him all over it.
With his personality.
But his comedy was very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, his comedy, his sarcasm was untouchable.
Your dad too.
My dad
Pro-
is
funny guy.
He's exactly
Funny
sarcastic
guy.
like your dad, but my dad was a
Funny.
little harsh.
My dad is
Funny.
like the king of sarcasm and irony. It's like it's
No,
I
but
think-
it's so good.
But I think it's the only thing that comes out of his mouth.
His
It's
delivery is perfect.
just it's the only thing. It's the only thing he says. Like every time you talk
it's like
to
having
him,
a taser.
Like, you know what? When I see him, before I actually see him, we make eye contact. I'm trying to anticipate. What is he going to say?
What will he say now?
What is he going to come up with?
Every time.
Yeah.
Like we
He's
go over.
wittier that.
Yeah, like I'm. You know, when was it? A couple weeks ago, we were at my sister's house. We were eating, and she had a bunch of desserts, man, like cookies. I don't know what, like chocolates, whatever. So I'm eating, and just with the calmest things, like, hey, bravo, just keep eating chocolates. It's great for you. It's great for you. Don't worry, your stomach isn't big enough. You just keep eating. Like in a very calm tone.
It's called a wake up call, man.
Yeah.
You see, my mom.
That's his rule for life.
You see, this
It's
is the difference between a dad and a mom. My mom thinks I'm too thin now. You know, you
look ill. You look ill.
She'll call me and be like, "Did you eat?
Did you eat?
And now with the kids, it's like, "Did they eat?
Did they eat?
And they don't trust us. So it's like,
What? What did they eat?
yeah, what did they eat?
Yeah.
What did they eat? Did they eat well? Did they eat properly?" And then you'll hear the doorbell and there's a plate.
Yeah.
There's a little plate already made.
But it happens almost in the same sentence, right? Where your mom has probably told you, "Come on, stop eating. Look, you got to take care of yourself." And then 10 minutes later,
my mom, no.
It's never happened.
Word.
Oh, my mom's a massive enabler.
Word dysfunctional when it comes to food. My mom's
No, but what I was gonna say is this. It's happened with my mom all the time. She's like, "Oh, you guys got to be careful. You know, you're getting a lot of weight. Anyway, are you gonna take some food home now?" Like this,
I made this for you.
yeah, like the biggest
My mom's delusional.
Tupperware you can imagine.
I don't eat enough. The kids don't eat enough. It's all about food. But look, my mom is programmed to take care of us.
Yeah.
And a basic part of taking care of somebody is making sure they're fed.
Yeah.
And that's all she thinks about.
But you guys live, just above, which makes sense. I mean, the cooking, they're like, "Oh, they're just there. Let's, let's." My parents are by themselves now. Nobody's home, and they still cook for like 10 people.
Yeah. They drive to bring it to you.
No, they don't drive. But my father's gonna call. "Oh, you're gonna be in town?" I'm like, "Why? I have some food here for you." I'm like, "Why? Why would you cook for me?" He's like, "I don't know."
We actually made a decision and said we're not going to be eating downstairs. Not because I love my mom's food. Great food. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, no, man, we got to stop doing
Bad
that.
habits.
So, you know what? You just got to.
Did you tell her that? Like, this is the decision we made.
Crazy. I'm not going to tell her.
You kind of just phased it out. Like, let's just find an excuse.
If you
Can't.
keep taking it, she's gonna keep
I just told you, my mom is programmed to take care of
Well,
people.
now she's going to listen to the episode and she's going to know exactly what's
She's
going
not
on.
going to listen to the episode. She's not going to listen to the episode. She's listening to her Greek comedy on Adena.
But she probably...
You know Antenna?
Adena.
But she's probably noticed, like, why has she questioned you? Like, why don't you guys eat?
Yeah. She's like, she's calling and she's saying, so, by the way, we made this.
But
she throws out like that. By the way, we made this.
If you need anything,
by the way, I know you guys don't want to eat here anymore, but I made your favorite. I made your favorite thing.
I made your favorite because I want you to come get it.
She doesn't say that.
No. You know what? She takes pride and
guilt trip.
Like when we talk about fulfillment,
She's proud to take care of her kids, man.
yeah, she
It's
gets
not more
fulfilled by taking care of the kids and the grandkids right now, and making sure that they're
Yeah.
okay. That makes her sleep all right.
It's an on switch that will never come
and I
off.
love it.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's the balance. You see that's the old kind of format of parenthood. You had the nourishing, the mom takes care, the warm. And then you had the dad, the rules. You need to grow independent one day. You need to be autonomous. And you know what? I don't take bullshit. And that together, when you marry that, you get stability, I find.
Yeah.
Did you notice a difference? Well, obviously you're much older, right? But when you had kids, and the attitude your parents had towards them, like,
Well, honestly,
obviously there's excitement.
I know what you're gonna say, and I don't know. Maybe I understood 90% of my dad and my mom once I had kids. 90% of what they used to tell me made sense.
No, but what I'm saying is that you had kids, like your parents towards your kids, like the way that your parents reacted or took care of your kids or played with them or whatever. How did you see them grow with your kids?
Well, look, that's a different dynamic.
Because obviously your dad,
It's a revival.
It's a revival, exactly. It's a whole different dynamic. They don't have to do it again.
Yeah,
They're not responsible. It's just the fun now.
It's just the fun now. Nicely said. That's what it is. It's the fun without the responsibility. Because at the end of the day, it's like you take them and go.
Yeah.
But I get to have fun and spoil them now.
Yeah.
I don't need to do they don't need the discipline component.
I mean, I saw it with my sister's kids because she had kids way before me.
Yeah.
So I saw exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It changed everything. The first grandchildren just changes everything.
Yeah.
Like with the first, and obviously, look, my son is named after my
Your
dad, so that was a big thing for him. That was like my dad is not the guy who shows excitement, right? Has to be serious, But
He turned red
when we told him that this is what's happening, the guy was like at the baptism.
Was he drinking?
Yeah, of course. He was dancing. But that was the first time I saw him in all fours. The weirdest thing to see is your dad on all fours. And he was just, man, you actually play like this? And it was nice. It was nice to see it.
It's funny that you mentioned that because every time I saw your father, he was always like a very happy man.
He is. No, I didn't say he was unhappy.
Yeah.
It was just that more of the moments were like, hey, man,
he
buddy,
was serious.
Life is serious. Life is serious. Treat it as such.
Financial.
We had fun, don't we? Look, my dad, we didn't have the play moments, but he was vulgar. Like he had his vulgar side, right? The dirty jokes. So we connected like that.
Yeah, your father has
a sense of humor.
Yeah,
it's always the sense of humor.
Sense of humor.
Your father's a funny guy. Like your father's sense of humor.
He throws some curveballs and he laughs at them himself. They're hilarious.
Exactly.
And then when you had the daughter,
for me, well, for my parents, it was like, wow, another great addition. Because my parents only had one kid, they didn't see us having one kid. Like they weren't really telling us, but they couldn't stomach the idea. It was like, no.
They wanted you to have more.
You're gonna have another kid.
Yeah.
At least one more, no? Right? But when the daughter came along, it's
a lot of pressure.
It just closed. It just completed the circle.
Yeah.
You know what? It is something nice to have both sexes.
Yeah.
Because the dynamics are different, and the relationship between grandmother and grandson,
more representative.
and grandfather and granddaughter is also different.
It's more representative.
Yeah.
There's different dynamics. Like I see him now, like they hug each other. She runs to him, and she next time she was pulling his beard,
and he just didn't budge.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, but it was just like it's neat.
I would have gotten a backhand.
Yeah,
but now it's tolerable now. It's like,
look, it brings a little bit of life, man. You know what? I honestly, guys,
don't touch my face.
Yeah. She goes like this. She touches all my. She touches. She was touching everything.
Because I see my sister has 2 boys. She had a little girl now, but she had 2 boys. So I see my dad how he reacts with them and with the girls.
It's different.
Oh yeah, night and day. And he like pushes the kid, the guys. He's like, he's gonna kick him.
He's mean to them.
Not mean, but he's gonna push the button a little bit.
He's gonna rough them up a bit.
Like he wants them to kind of.
I see him with the girls. He's all bougie.
Exactly.
And with the boys, he's always been throwing sarcastic comments.
That's innate. That's innate. You don't think about it.
Like he's cute with the girls, and with the boys, it's like.
He's manning them up.
No, but there's this pride thing. It's like, look what he's gonna do now. Look, they're fighting. Let them fight. Let them fight.
He's gonna use an elbow.
Yeah. It's like he's looking forward to the damage that he's gonna do.
We ran out of coffee.
I think we did. I'm not going up to make another
no,
one.
No.
Yeah.
No one's
we're gonna get a bigger picture next time. We can wrap it up. We have an hour if you guys want to continue, or if you wanna keep going.
The point is, kids are dirty, they stink, and bathroom disasters are the worst thing in the world.
I don't know who said it, because I usually like giving credit.
And you love your kids because somebody's gotta.
But because we spoke about kids and parents today, I don't know who said it, guys.
Children are proof that we are animals.
They said the first half of your life is ruined by parents, and the second half of your life is ruined by your children. But we're all optimists.
And you're right. It's a question of perspective.
That's right. It's a question.
So
I think we can wrap it up with that.
Yeah, because I don't think my life is ruined.
Stay positive, love them, show love, don't take it away, punish them though.
George's life is ruined like that.
No, I hear boys fuck up your life early and they're cooler later.
Yeah. I'll see. I'll let you know.
F-bomb.
Whose phone is ringing?
Oh, it's my wife.
All right,
So
everyone.
rude.
So we're gonna wrap it up.
We gotta go. It's
I'm
my
gonna
wife.
call
We
her
gotta
name.
go.
The wife is calling. That's it. She's like,
You're
all right,
taking too long.
You said it was gonna be an hour. It's like she's almost calculating it to
Hello?
the minute.
Put her on the pod.
Put her on speaker.
No, just put
Ella, how are you?
Good.
Puy, man. We're doing a podcast. You're live.
You are live right now on the podcast.
You're on speaker.
Okay, bye.
She got shy for the next 2 years. I'll call you right back.
That's okay, don't. I just want to know where you were.
Oh, you see, that's care. That's love. That's another way of saying I love you.
It is.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
You sound like a Karate Kid song.
My kids have been watching Karate Kid.
The original.
Yeah, no, 1 and 2.
But the original.
Yeah. 3 times,
Yeah,
3 to
like-
4 times a
Because they
week.
redid it with
Every week.
Will Smith's son.
He's not a
Every
good actor.
Every week. He loves it. There's something about
week.
Miyagi.
Of all movies.
No, but there's something, man.
Yeah.
The weakness,
It's the underdog
the
story,
courage,
man.
the underdog story.
Yeah.
You know what? Fight your fears. Look them in the eye and just go for it. And he got attracted to that.
It's a typical Hollywood setting, but instead of using an African American, they're using an Asian guy.
Yeah.
Standard Hollywood. Standard.
Where are you
Yeah.
watching this? Netflix.
Yeah.
They have it on Netflix.
1 and 2, not 3.
Disney Plus came out. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I heard.
I got it.
Well, how much is it? $6?
9.
$9 a month.
9.
All the programming. Great programming.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I try not to get him to watch. So I'm
Okay,
trying
so I get him to watch freaking Miyagi. High kicks to the mouth.
No. But what I'm saying is like I'm trying not to get them. I'm at the point now where we have to stop it.
Can I confess something? Because it came out a couple days ago, Disney. I'm not sure when we're going to air this episode, but it came out like a day, yesterday, whatever, 2 days ago.
Is Disney sponsoring the show?
No, they could if they want to, but they're not. I think because I woke up in the morning and I checked my phone for the message, and then I went on Facebook and they had the sponsored ad, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's all because we were all aware that it was coming. So right away I just went and signed up, and I told my wife, oh, Disney Plus. She's like, oh, that's cute. Now the girls are gonna be watching all the Disney princess movies. And right there and then I realized that my initial thought wasn't about my daughters, but it was to get all the X-Men movies and all the Avengers that I haven't seen yet. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. They took all the content off of Netflix.
It's gonna happen, progressively. I think it's gonna. But that was my initial thing, and when my wife told me, I was like, should I even tell her?
I don't care
I feel
about
a
those
bit
Marvel
guilty.
movies at all.
They're not bad.
I never got into it.
Terrible.
Never got into it.
Terrible. I can't stand it.
And on that, we're going to end the episode. And thank you guys. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this on a weekly basis or every 2 weeks. We'll see.
Diapers suck.
We still haven't figured out the format. But you're done with diapers.
Yeah, we still have pull-ups for sometimes at night. But.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm still in.
Yeah, I still have pull-ups.
Yeah. And on the
No,
pull-up,
well, not for me, for my daughter.
yeah, we understood that.
I was hoping. I didn't say anything.
All right, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.